was not within the law or whatnot, then they can appeal it to the Ombudsman's office.
Sure. I like the concept very much. And I believe that state government needs to be absolutely transparent. I've always tried, as an elected official, as the only candidate for governor who's had the privilege, the high honor of serving in Congress, the highest legislative body in our country. I tried to hold myself to that sort of ethical, not sort of, that high ethical standard. And I've always tried to make sure that I'm open and accessible to viewpoints from from constituents, my fellow citizens from all walks of life. So I like the idea that of an ombudsman office, an agency where Arizonans could have direct contact to offer their views, including their constructive criticism about any operation of state government, but hopefully also offer suggestions on how to improve state government. We're going to have to, again, to help deal with the fiscal challenges that we face as a state, we're going to have to reinvent state government in a lot of respects. We're certainly going to have to, I think, use technology more. But we're going to have to look at ways that we can truly streamline government while hopefully enhancing or improving the responsiveness and the accountability of state government across the board. I think my personal view, and I'd love to get your views around the table, but my view is that tax policy should encourage savings and investment. So it should favor or promote savings and investment, and it should tax consumption. I think consumption taxes are the fairest form of taxation, although I'm quick to acknowledge none of us like paying taxes. But why do I say that? Because a consumption tax at the point of sale allows consumers, that is to say, all of us as taxpayers, to decide how we're going to spend our funds and just how much we're going to be taxed. Number one. Number two, a consumption tax gets at the underground economy. And I think we all know that there's a vast underground economy. And lastly, a consumption tax makes our out-of-state guests, our seasonal visitors, pay their fair share for government services and the use of government infrastructure. So I favor consumption taxes. That has to go hand in hand with what I described earlier, which is eliminating the sales tax loopholes that are there, have been put there by special interest groups through their lobbyists working with the state legislature. I have a unique advantage over any candidate for governor, and I just alluded to it. I've served in high elective office. I know how to get things done. I know how to build consensus. If you look at the legislation that I authored as a member of Congress. But I also know how the special interests work. And one of the reasons I'm running for governor is not just because I think I have the strongest, deepest, most proven leadership record, but because I know I have the strength, the personal courage to stand up to the special interest. And I think we need that kind of leadership here and now because we're at a crossroads as a state and a country.
Arizona has a structural deficit. How would you work with the legislature?
Number 7.
Oh, 7 or around 8?
What is your position on energy saving standards, and how should or should they not be enforced?
Say again as I look at this question.
What is your position on energy saving standards, and how should or should not they be enforced?
Well, I think energy savings, in other words, promoting conservation, is a good thing. I know there's a raging debate about whether solar energy should receive preferential treatment under our tax code or any kind of an incentive for conversion, but also generating additional electricity that can be sold to the grid. So I guess without studying it further, I would say that a broad-based consumer incentive for energy savings for conservation is a good thing, but I reserve the right to look further at the current tax incentives that are extended to the solar industry.